Black screen. A child's voice whispers, "Mommy says the red door only opens once." Sudden violent banging. A man screaming, "I can see it. It's beautiful." Airlock alarm blares. Cut to black. Title card slams. The frequency. Lieutenant Marcus's fingernails left crimson streaks across the airlock's inner door. "Marcus, stop." Dr. Kaya O. Smith grabbed his shoulders, trying to pull him away, but he was stronger, driven by something beyond adrenaline. His fingers bent backward as he clawed at the metal, 2 nails ripping completely off. Blood sprayed across the porthole in perfect arcs. "The red door is open." Marcus sobbed, his voice raw with ecstasy. "Can't you see it? It's so beautiful, Kaya. Your sister was right. She was right." Kaya's heart stopped. "What did you say about Mira?" Marcus spun to face her. His eyes vibrated impossibly fast, the irises oscillating like tuning forks. "She's waiting for you. On the other side. She's been waiting for 3 weeks." He slammed his palm against the emergency override. The outer door opened. "No!" The vacuum took him instantly. Marcus didn't scream, he laughed. A sound of pure joy as the void ripped him apart, his body tumbling into Neptune's blue infinity, toward the massive dark spot that filled half the sky. Kaya stood frozen at the sealed inner door, watching her crewmate's corpse spiral away. Her reflection stared back from the porthole. Behind her own terrified eyes, she saw the question that had haunted her for 21 days. What did my sister see? The mess hall was empty except for Kaya and Commander Wei. 3 weeks ago, it would have been packed during breakfast. Now most of the crew was sedated in medical, or dead, or... Kaya pushed the thought away. "Show me the latest scan," Wei said quietly. Kaya pulled up the holographic display. Neptune's great dark spot dominated the projection, a storm system larger than Earth, its edges rippling with colors that hurt to look at. "It moved again," Kaya said. Her voice was steady, but her hands shook. 12 degrees in 6 hours. "Wei, storms don't track things. They don't have intentionality," Wei finished. He looked older than his 52 years. "They all did now. I know what you're going to say. It's following us. Or we're being pulled toward it." Kaya zoomed in on the storm center. "And everyone who hears the frequency tries to reach it. They try to." A scream cut through the air. They ran. Dar. Chen was in the corridor outside her quarters, on her knees, clawing at the bulkhead. Her fingers were already ruined, nails torn off, bone visible beneath the shredded flesh. Blood smeared the wall in desperate handprints. "It's right here." Chen sobbed. "The door is right here. Why can't you see it?" Kaya knelt beside her. "Dr. Chen, there's no door. You need to." Chen's head snapped toward her. "Your sister found it. Mira found the red door on day 1. She was the smart one. She didn't fight it like we did." Kaya's breath caught. "What did Mira say to you?" "Before she said, 'Stop listening with your ears, Kaya. Listen with the space between thoughts.'" Chen's eyes rolled back. "And now I can hear it. It's not a sound. It's a direction." Wei pressed a sedative injector against Chen's neck. Her body went limp. "Get her to medical," Wei ordered 2 nearby crew members. He turned to Kaya, his expression grim. "We need to talk. Privately." In Wei's office, he pulled up a file marked classified, Project Triton. "I wasn't supposed to show you this," Wei said. "But 16 crew members are dead or catatonic, and I think you deserve to know the truth." The file contained construction documents for the station. Official schematics showing 5 decks. Then Wei opened a second set of blueprints. These showed 6 decks. Deck F, Kaya whispered. It exists? According to these plans, yes. But here's the problem. I was part of the construction crew. I physically helped build this station. Wei's voice cracked. There was no Deck F. We never built it. Then how? I don't know. But 3 crew members have mentioned it now. They all say the same thing, the red door is on Deck F, and they all say that Mira was the first to find it, Kaya finished. Her chest tightened. Her little sister. 23 years old, brilliant, scared of nothing. 3 weeks ago, Mira had reported hearing beautiful music in the walls. 6 hours later, she'd vanished from her quarters. No body. No trace. Just gone. Kaya had spent every waking moment since then searching for answers. Not just as a scientist. As a sister. I need to find Deck F, Kaya said. Absolutely not. We don't know what's down there. My sister is down there. Kaya slammed her hand on the desk. Or the answer to what happened to her is. Wei, I can't just. An alarm shrieked through the station. Medical Bay. They found Dr. Yuki Tanaka floating in zero gravity, surrounded by spheres of blood. She'd disabled the gravity plating and was spinning slowly in the center of the room, arms spread wide. Blood leaked from her ears. Not dripping, pouring, streaming from her auditory canals in crimson ribbons that broke into perfect spheres. Yuki. Kaya launched herself across the room. Yuki's eyes snapped open. Blood vessels had burst across the whites, turning them completely red. It's not a sound, Yuki whispered, her voice dreamy. It's a door. And it only opens for those who stop listening with their ears. What does that mean? Kaya grabbed her shoulders. Yuki, what does that mean? Ask your sister. Yuki smiled, blood coating her teeth. Mira knows. She's on the other side, Kaya. She's been calling for you. Can't you hear her? Wei administered the sedative, but Yuki's words echoed in Kaya's mind. Myra's been calling. That night, Kaya couldn't sleep. She lay in her quarters, staring at the ceiling, thinking about her sister. Mira had always been the brave one. When they were kids, Kaya would plan meticulously, calculate risks, analyze outcomes. Mira would just jump. Into pools, off cliffs, into space programs. You think too much, Kay, Mira used to say. Sometimes you just have to feel. Kaya pressed her palm against the wall. And felt a vibration. Not audible. Not quite physical. Something in between. A pulse that synchronized with her heartbeat, growing stronger with each thump-thump of blood through her veins. She followed it. Down corridor after corridor, the vibration grew stronger. Her ears began to ring. Then hurt. Then blood. Warm and copper on her tongue. Kaya touched her ear. Her fingers came away red. She was hearing the frequency. The vibration led her to a maintenance shaft marked authorized personnel only. She descended the ladder, level by level, until she reached a hatch that shouldn't exist. Painted red. Kaya's hands shook as she pulled the emergency release. The hatch fell open, revealing darkness below, absolute, perfect darkness that seemed to swallow light itself. She dropped through. Deck F was impossible. The space was vast, cathedral vast, far larger than the station's exterior dimensions. The walls were covered in symbols that writhed and shifted, equations that made Kaya's eyes water. But somehow, she could read them. Coordinates. All pointing to this exact location in space and time. We were meant to find this, Kaya whispered. Or she was. Kaya spun. Commander Wei stood behind her, plasma cutter in hand. You followed me. Someone had to. Wei played his light across the vast chamber. Holy God! This is real, Kaya finished. It's real, and my sister found it first. At the center of Deck F stood a door. Red. Not painted, the material itself pulsed with inner light, synchronized with Kaya's heartbeat, with the ringing in her ears, with something deeper than sound. The frequency. Don't go near it, Wei warned. But Kaya was already walking. She couldn't stop. The vibration in her chest was pulling her forward like gravity, like inevitability. Mira came here, Kaya said. This was the last place she stood before. Before what, Kaya? Before she died? Before she went insane? Before she went through? Kaya stopped 3 feet from the door. This close, she could feel heat radiating from it. Not thermal heat, something else. The warmth of consciousness itself. The frequency isn't a sound, Kaya said. It's a dimension. A direction that exists perpendicular to normal space. And this door, she reached out. This door opens that way. Kaya, no. Her palm touched the surface. The door rippled like water. And opened. Light poured through the doorway, not photons, but information. Pure, crystalline understanding that bypassed Kaya's eyes and downloaded directly into her consciousness. She saw the interior of Neptune's storm. Not a weather system, a vessel. A ship built from folded dimensions, traveling for eons across the space between realities. Structures that twisted through impossible geometries. Architecture that existed in 6 dimensions simultaneously, visible to human eyes only as fragmentary shadows. And beings. Millions of them. Refugees from a universe whose fundamental constants had decayed, whose stars had died, whose very laws of physics were unraveling. They'd been traveling for longer than Earth had existed, searching for a reality that still had time. And they'd found one. They're not invading, Kaya breathed. They're asking. The frequency wasn't a weapon. It was a question, will you let us through? Those who heard it, Mira, Marcus, Chen, Yuki, they'd all answered yes. Kaya, step away from the door, Wei said, his voice tight with fear. But Kaya was already seeing deeper. Through the doorway, in the spaces between the impossible structures, she saw her. Mira. Her little sister stood bathed in light that bent around her form, her body somehow existing in multiple positions simultaneously. She looked peaceful. Radiant. Mira smiled. Kay, her voice echoed from nowhere and everywhere. I've been waiting for you. Mira. Kaya stumbled forward. Are you alive? I'm more than alive. I'm expanded. Mira's form shifted, showing angles that didn't exist in 3-dimensional space. This isn't death, Kay. It's evolution. They showed me how to exist in 5 dimensions instead of 3. How to experience consciousness as a place instead of a process. I don't understand. You will. Come through. Let me show you. Kaya looked back at Wei. The commander's face was pale, his eyes wide with terror. Don't do this, Wei pleaded. Please. We can study this. We can. We can't study a new dimension any more than a drawing can study depth, Kaya said gently. Sometimes you can't analyze something from the outside, Wei. Sometimes you have to jump. You think too much, Kay. Sometimes you just have to feel. Kaya turned back to the door. To her sister. What's on the other side? She asked. Myra's smile widened. Home. For them. For us. For everyone who learns to listen in the right direction. The storm on Neptune pulsed brighter. The frequency crescendoed to a note that transcended sound. Kaya stepped through. The transformation was instant and eternal. Her body dissolved and reformed in higher dimensions. She could see in directions that didn't have names. Toward consciousness, toward meaning, toward the frequency of thought itself. Time became a place she could visit. She saw her childhood with Mira, their teenage years, the day they both joined the space program. She saw these moments not as memories but as locations, existing permanently in the geography of the fifth dimension. And she understood. Humans had always existed in 5 dimensions. They just couldn't perceive the fifth one, the dimension of consciousness. Because they were trapped looking outward instead of inward. The red door wasn't a door. It was a direction. The direction in. Mira took her hand. Her sister's touch was warm and somehow existed in the past, present, and future simultaneously. Welcome home, Kay. Around them, millions of refugee consciousnesses pulsed with gratitude. They'd been calling across the frequency of thought for eons, hoping someone would hear. Hoping someone would understand. Hoping someone would let them through. Kaya turned back toward the doorway. On the other side, 3-dimensional Wei stood frozen in fear and wonder. She reached her hand back through. It's not death, Kaya said. It's an invitation. Come through, Wei. Come in. Wei stared at her outstretched hand. Behind him, alarms began to blare. More crew members were waking from sedation, following the frequency, finding their way to Deck F. Wei looked at Kaya's hand. At Myra's smiling face. At the impossible light bleeding through from the other side. He took a step forward. Then another. His fingers brushed Kaya's palm. Commander David Wei's final transmission was received at 3:42 GMT. I'm the last one here now. The others didn't die, they evolved. They passed through the red door and became something we don't have words for. Something that exists in more directions than we can perceive. The Neptune storm is dissipating. The migration is complete. They're here now. In our reality, in our minds, in the spaces between our thoughts. Dr. O. Smith asked me to relay this message: stop looking up. Start looking in. The universe isn't empty. We were just facing the wrong direction. I'm going through now. Not because I hear voices. But because I finally understand what Kaya's sister knew from the beginning. Sometimes you can't think your way to truth. Sometimes you have to jump. The transmission ended. On Earth, reports flooded in. People hearing music that wasn't there. Seeing doors in peripheral vision. Children drawing red doors on every surface, whispering about the pretty people inside. The frequency was spreading. And humanity was learning, at last, to listen in the right direction. Not with their ears. But with the space between thoughts.